Yo, what's good guys? Welcome back to Annie Recapped. Today we bring you the anime called I Am Quitting Heroing. Before we dive into the show though, do subscribe to Annie Recapped if you want to find more awesome animes to watch from all over the world. Done? Now let's begin. The episode starts when a young boy with red eyes visits a ruined castle and meets the demon queen Echidna and her 4 great generals. He removes his disguise and introduces himself as former hero Leo Demonheart, here to interview for a position in the Demon Queen's army. With the high attributes of being a skilled swordsman and master of all schools of magic, he states he has even defeated Echidna herself in single combat. He further states that he wishes to assist her due to her lack of army personnel because he decimated her army. However, he wants to forget the past and focus on the future of creating a glorious demon kingdom by joining her army. Much to his surprise, she gets extremely furious, and despite his multiple requests to join her, she denies it. The scene then shifts to the past, where 1 year ago, the demon army, under the leadership of Queen Echidna, descended upon the human world in a surprise invasion. The king appointed Leo to destroy the demon army, and he hired a party of elite heroes in his team to set out from the capital. His teammates, who were weaker than him, died early, and he defeated Echidna alone. Later, in the present, he requests the 4 great generals to secretly listen to him, and they agree. However, it is revealed that he has already defeated them and is stronger than them. He decides to give them a presentation, reminding them of their defeats and hoping to gain their vote of approval. He begins with Edward, the dragon general, who was physically the strongest and a dragonfly. However, he defeated him by using his magic. The second person he fought was Myrnus, the shadowless general, who was a deadly half-demon with unmatched speed and strength. However, he cast a strong magic spell to defeat him as well. The third person was Lily, the beast general. He met her unusually, and she had amnesia, no friends or family, and nowhere to go to. Moreover, she looked like a kid, and he took care of her for a few days. But when she finally remembered who she was, she attacked them and he defeated her easily. Later, he learned that her tribe believes if someone stronger defeats them in combat, they become their life partner, and now she wishes to marry him. Nevertheless, the last person he fought was Shutina, the sorcerer general, and the strongest mage plus succubus. However, he used a spell to nullify her casting, which resulted in her defeat. Shutina becomes embarrassed and, out of frustration, wishes to know Leo's real intentions behind joining the demon army. He tells her that despite his heroic efforts, he was feared and hated by his people, and the king banished him from the kingdom. Consequently, he was living a meaningless life, but one day he overheard about recruitment for the demon army. He decided to join the army and spent all night preparing a presentation. Shutina becomes satisfied and hires him for a 1-month trial period as his manager to evaluate his worthiness. If she finds his performance unsatisfactory, he'll be thrown out of the army and vice versa. However, they decide to keep it a secret from Queen Echidna. She orders him to keep himself disguised at all times by using magic spells. Further, he is surprised to learn that Lily is in charge of logistics, which is the most vital part of rebuilding an army. At last, Shutina tells him that if he produces satisfactory results, the 4 generals will recommend that Queen Echidna permanently hire him. The scene then shifts to Leo, who ponders the reason why Echidna ordered to forbid any needless killing. Leo goes into Shutina's room to wake her up, but she gets furious and attacks him constantly. However, he realizes that most of the demon army's top brass return to the demon world to recover themselves. Therefore, Shutina is now under pressure and constantly worried since she's the only eligible person and is overworking herself. Later, she calms down and Leo observes the task list, which currently has 50 tasks pending. He begins with replenishing the mana reactors. However, only the original creators of the reactors are eligible to replenish them. If anyone else with a different wavelength tries, the reactors will be destroyed, but Leo has a plan. He tells her to grant him 30 minutes and 2 hours to complete the task and disguises himself in black armor. Surprisingly, he returns after 30 minutes and completes the task by adjusting his mana wavelengths, but decides to rest for a while. However, he uses a mirage eye to observe her tasks, and later Shutina gets annoyed. She launches a powerful attack at him, but a short girl named Dianette appears. Leo orders her to call him Black Knight Onyx, and she states that the task has been completed. Much to Shutina's surprise, Leo reveals that firstly, he procured an amethyst from the goblin goldsmith. Afterward, he filled it with mana tuned to Shutina's wavelength. For amethysts are sturdy stones that stay attuned to a wavelength indefinitely. Therefore, anyone who holds it in person will be attuned to Shutina's wavelength as well. Later, he created a talisman with the stone, found Dianette, and taught her how to use the talisman to replenish the reactors. He instructed her to find a few other eligible people and split the job. Consequently, she found 3 other sorcerers, and they passed the talisman around to refill the reactors. Shutina becomes satisfied and decides to appoint her to this task, and Leo dismisses Dianette. He tells Shutina that she worries too much and advises her to use the art of delegation. Moreover, while he was resting, he observed the inefficiencies in her current tasks and advised her to delegate 7 of them. She gets relieved and thanks him for his help. However, she later calls him for a second task. Shutina tells him that Lily is headed to Largo tomorrow to collect food and supplies. Moreover, the demon army and the people of Largo have a steadfast and unbreakable alliance. Largo is the land of dragonflies, and 3,000 years ago, Demon King Belial led an attack on the human realm. After his defeat, many denizens of the demon world found peace with humanity and became a diverse part of society. The dragon folk attempted to do the same, but later, humans began to persecute them, and they went off to live in peace in the Largo Islands. Consequently, they support Queen Echidna and still hold a grudge against humans. Nevertheless, Shutina tells him that Lily is inefficient and she wants him to keep an eye on her. She tells him to use a rap portal to get to Largo, and he teases her. The scene then shifts to Largos, where Lily is carelessly running and wasting time. He notices that the Isle's storage and logistics facilities are overflowing with supplies, and that if the right person is assigned, the job will take 2 days to complete. Later, he realizes that the island's inhabitants have lodged dozens of complaints against them, and if it continues, they'll lose the alliance. Back at the castle, Myrnus believes Lily is inefficient, but Shutina has faith in her. The scene then shifts to Largos, and Leo realizes that Lily is too immature and he can't use logic with her. Later, he fakes being bitten by a venomous snake, which sends Lily into panic, and he orders her to save him by collecting medicinal herbs. In reality, he has prepared various trials for her, and she'll need to use the power of teamwork to get through them. He uses the Mirage Eye to observe her, and she transforms into Fenrir, the divine wolf, which is a protective deity on her continent. However, he has no idea about her transformation, and she reaches her first trial, a huge boulder. Leo has cast an invincibility spell on it to negate physical attacks, and to break through, she must find a subordinate who can remove the spell. Surprisingly, after continuous effort, she breaks the boulder and reaches the second trial, infinitely replicating slimes. Moreover, among all those slimes is a single core slime, and the fastest way to get through the trial is to bring over a perceptive junior. Again, she completes the task by herself and proceeds forward to the third trial, a crevice conjured up with gnomish power. She meets Godheart, another one of Leo's disguises, who advises her to take help from others. Much to his surprise, she swims away to get herself across the other side and eventually completes all the trials by herself. The next day, it is revealed that she was able to use the power of teamwork to successfully carry out her mission. Leo realizes that he should have used a simple method, and later, Shutina informs him that Queen Echidna has summoned the Black Knight Onyx to report to her. Shutina tells Leo that she told Queen Echidna that their work has been going smoothly because of Black Knight Onyx. He states Echidna with her beloved Tilving can defeat Edward in single combat, and she's as good as Shutina, which makes her crazy powerful. Leo believes she'll be able to see through his disguise, but visits her despite that. Much to his surprise, she doesn't realize his true identity and provides him with a splendid feast. However, while drinking liquor, she forcefully takes off his helmet, and he changes his facial appearance. Fortunately, she doesn't realize his identity, and he decides to get her drunk to escape her. After pouring her numerous glasses, he fails to get her drunk and decides to talk about food. He observes her innocent smile and notices that she's quite humble. However, she praises Leo and his culinary skills. Later, she states that she wishes to know why he wears a helmet all the time. He answers that he's been cursed by the goddess Tiana, and he's allowed to show his face for a limited time only. Despite his efforts to escape her, she decides to drink with him all night to toast the beginning of their friendship. After a few hours of partying, she states that she arranged this feast to show her gratitude for his hard work. She further tells him everybody's welcome in the demon army, and he asks her about Leo. She becomes enraged upon hearing his name and declares that he will never be allowed to join her army. She was unable to retrieve the Philosopher's Stone because of his heroic efforts, and he realizes her true purpose. The Philosopher's Stone is a treasure held in the holy city of Renales, and it was discovered by the first Saint King 3,000 years ago. Its power was used to find the capital, and rumors say it turned the wastelands into green fields. Moreover, it protected the city's people from the plague and could even make someone immortal. Most of these rumors, according to Leo, are false because he has used another Philosopher's Stone before and believes it is not a magical power-up. Echidna believes that humans and demons are destined to be at odds with each other. Leo wants to know what she wishes to do with the stone, as he's desperate to know the real reason. Despite being destroyed, she hasn't returned to the demon world, and she takes him to the balcony. She tells him that the demon world is full of despair, with no vegetation, no sun, and water that is muddy and impure. Demon clans are always fighting each other over little sources, and she wishes to bring order to her world of chaos. She wants to retrieve the stone to reforge the land and will give sanctuary to those who cooperate in the demon world. Afterward, she asks him about his reason for joining the army. Leo decides to tell her the truth, but Shutina and Lily interrupt them. They hand Echidna 2 notes containing Myrnis's decision to embark on a journey. Moreover, Edward, due to his failure to properly train his troops, has decided to take his life, which surprises them all. Shutina informs him that Edward is at the training grounds, but Myrnis's whereabouts are unknown. Leo decides to seek out Myrnis, and Echidna decides to seek out Edward alongside Shutina and Lily. Leo plans to reveal his identity after dealing with the situation and finding Myrnis. He starts fighting with him, however, Leo reveals himself and the fighting stops. Later, Myrnis tells him that he decided to take a break and Leo scolds him. He puts an invisible chain on his leg to prevent him from escaping and tells him that he will not stop him. He advises Myrnis to rethink his decision to quit the army. Later, he tells Leo that interviews are the reason. He has to conduct interviews by himself in 3 days, for which he has to be energetic and imposing. He'll be interviewing spies and agents, all the people who are good at talking. Myrnis states that he was a guildmaster before, but he used to let other people handle the talking. And the same goes for the demon army. Suddenly, he orders Leo to turn him into a master of communication in 3 days, but Myrnis tries to escape. Ultimately, Leo agrees to help him and informs the others about the situation. Echidna informs him that her generals are also her consultants, and Myrnis's thoughts on humanity often clash with hers. She tells him that Edward was truly trying to take his life with regular blades, which are ineffective against his draconic scales. His stalwart dedication to warrior ideals saved his life, and his daughter Julieta is keeping an eye on him. The next day, it is revealed that Myrnis and Leo are working as waiters in the mess hall. Above all, Myrnis has disguised himself as Myrnie, a waitress, and Leo informs him that service positions can teach him all about the basics of communication. Later, Leo advises him to show empathy and be a good listener. However, being a former member of the Assassin's Guild, he lacks it. Afterward, a group of mercenaries named Howlers of the Moonlight tries to harass him, but he beats them up easily. Later at night, Leo tells him to get changed and meet him in the other room. Much to his surprise, Myrnis states that he believes Leo is lying and that he wants to bring destruction to humanity. Leo gets surprised and tries to dodge his question, but Myrnis gets emotional. It is revealed that he is half human and half demon and was sold into slavery by his parents at a very young age. However, after serving various masters, he ended up being brought in by the Assassin's Guild. The guild thought he'd be expandable and die after taking out his first target. Surprised, he was a good enough assassin to survive, and he desperately wants to finish off humanity for good. He was the biggest supporter of Echidna's cause and secretly gave her assistance, and despite his doubts, he joined the army under false pretenses. Myrnis was disappointed by Echidna's soft nature and kindness. He decided that if necessary, he would take out Echidna and the demon army by himself to destroy humanity. Later, he was promoted to the rank of Great General and half-heartedly helped Echidna lead her forces through a successful campaign. The scene then shifts to Myrnis's defeat, where it is revealed that he told Leo that if he hadn't killed him, he would exterminate humanity someday. Leo, on the other hand, advised them to seek out something new in the world and then left him. In the present, Myrnis tells Leo that, unlike him, he has no hatred for humanity. Leo gets surprised by the real nature of the generals and finds that Myrnis, the uncaring, unfeeling assassin, struggles with teenage angst. He starts crying and tells Leo to tell him the real reason. Finally, Leo states that he has been defending humanity for a long time. He claims that Tokyo existed a long time ago, at the height of industrial civilization, before magic became widely used. The world was made up of only humans and they lived in peace. One day, a hole opened up in the middle of Tokyo and different kinds of demons emerged from that hole. Just like Echidna, they were sick of the dark and horrific demon world and came to the human world to seek its warmth. Many demons tried to peacefully coexist with humanity, but others opted for violence. Soon, there was a full-fledged global war between demons and weak humans. They launched the project and used the demons' power to forge 12 powerful weapons. They were living beings with limitless potential to evolve, grow, and protect humanity called the Demon Heart series. And as of now, only one of them remains, which is Leo himself. Leo missed his chance to die, and after the industrial world fell and magically replaced machinery, he went on living. Whenever war erupted, he was there to fight and felt entitled to protect humans. However, he was happy to get relieved of his duty and now wants to help Echidna achieve her goal. He claims to be over 1,000 years old and that he will assist them in reaching their goal. In the end, Myrnis passes out from exhaustion and falls asleep. Will Echidna accept Leo into her army? Will she be able to retrieve the Philosopher's Stone? Do let us know what you guys think in the comments, and I guess we'll find out in the next episodes. As for everything else, if you enjoyed the video, please take a moment to drop us a like and subscribe to Annie Recap for more content like this on your feed. With that said, we'll see you in the next one. Peace!